What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again. So this is what we had here. After all this, praising Donald Trump and stuff like that from Netanyahu, oh, you did a good job. You did your thing. We expect America for helping us bomb Iran, and y'all get the picture of what I'm saying here. So apparently, of course, there's a ceasefire that's supposed to be in place. Now, what's happening here is apparently Iran fired off something maybe at the last minute, maybe it wasn't the last minute, but who knows out here, but Iran fired off a missile.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
So now Donald Trump is pissed off. He's telling Israel. Israel fired off a missile. Sorry, I'm tripping. Israel fired off the missile. Okay, my bad. So apparently, he's telling Israel, like, listen, look, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? So, obviously Donald Trump is pissed. It is what it is. We're about to find out what's going on here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
The ceasefire deal between Israel and Iran is in effect at this hour, but tensions remain high in the region.
Earlier today, we watched President Donald Trump lash out at Israel for bombing Iran after the deal was reached, and then he criticized both countries for violating the agreement. ABC's Perry Russom has the latest from D.C.
With the hope of a ceasefire between Israel and Iran fading, President Trump lashing out at both countries.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what they're doing.
After Israel and Iran agreed to a ceasefire overnight, within hours, Israel accusing Iran of violating the agreement. Israel's Fire and Rescue Authority says this was the scene in the northern part of the country, part of an Israeli interceptor missile seen here, landing near a shed filled with goats. Iran denying the attack, Israel responding, launching retaliatory strikes, claiming to destroy a radar system near Tehran. President Trump says he believes both countries violated the ceasefire.
These guys got to calm down. It's ridiculous.
President Trump speaking to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this morning after calling on Israel to not attack Iran and turn around its planes. Netanyahu's office says after speaking to Trump, they refrained from further attacks on Iran.
It's not in Israel's best interest right now to do a ceasefire, frankly. They have the Iranians on the ropes. And from their perspective, they want regime change. They're not overtly saying that, but that's very clear. And I think the only way that does get solved, frankly, is if Israel accomplishes its objectives.
President Trump making it clear he is not happy with Israel. This is the first time we have seen him this frustrated with an American ally. He is now on his way to the Netherlands for a NATO.
Okay, so this is where we at right here. And yes, it is what it is, people. Now, if you broker a ceasefire deal and things like that, and you're trying to make peace in the Middle East, the problem here is going to be, everybody wants to keep forcing. And what the last guy just said, well, it's not in Israel's best interest to actually go along with the ceasefire. They got Iran on the ropes and things like that. But that's the issue. We don't want the war, regardless of these people's egos and whatever's going on. They need to figure out a ceasefire way to where Iran is not going to keep going on with their nuclear program, and Israel is not going to continue to try to keep sending bombs their way, and they sending bombs back and forth. This is crazy right here. This shit needs to stop. I'm definitely on board with this. You know what I'm saying? It needs to stop. It is what it is. Let's go here now.
Welcome back to Morning Joe. It's Tuesday, June 24th. Jonathan Lemire and Susan Page are still with us. Donald Trump walking to Air Force One as he plans his trip to The Hague in the Netherlands for NATO summit, where most of the NATO countries have pledged, are going to pledge that they'll be spending 5% of their GDP on military expenditures. Obviously, something that Donald Trump has been pursuing for a very long time. But Jonathan Lemire, the president, holding a press avail before leaving the White House as he was going to the helicopter, Marine One, and very angry with Israel, very angry with Iran, saying they didn't know what the F they were doing. According to reports, we're getting the video fed into us right now, but take us through it. He expects the ceasefire to hold and is not pleased that it's not.
Yeah, it's been an eventful few minutes. As we discussed earlier in the show, the ceasefire was agreed to, President Trump trumpeting it. But these things are messy. It didn't end precisely at the time.
Takes a while.
Yeah, it does. It often does. And apparently a missile from Iran did get through, landed in Israel. There have been some casualties, a couple of fatalities. And Israel's now publicly saying they're going to hit back with full force. And that is what has really agitated President Trump this morning. We just showed you video. He did not talk to reporters at Joint Base Andrews, but he did a few minutes prior while leaving the White House, getting on Marine One as he heads to NATO. Pool reports indicate a very angry President Trump, as you says, criticizing both countries, Israel and Iran, saying, quote, they've been fighting for so long and so hard, they don't know what the F they're doing. He did not abbreviate that. And he also took to Truth Social right around the same time an all caps message squarely at Israel, saying, Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do, it is a major violation. Bring your pilots home now. Donald J. Trump, Lord. President of the United States. So he...
Shout out to that. Listen, look.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yes. I don't understand Israel too. And throughout all these decades that we've had Israel as our ally, we've been allies to Israel and stuff like that throughout the decades. You know what I'm saying? Listen, look, I don't understand what's going on here. I thought Israel wanted a peaceful solution to try to deal with this nuclear situation. Now, I get it. Iran has been, running around the planet for decades now, talking about how they want to delete everybody. And, if they get hold to the proper stuff, they're going to do something to everybody and things like that. I get that. Now, don't get me wrong. But listen, look, if we're trying to negotiate this situation to where we won't have to go to war and we can resolve the problem, then it needs to be resolved properly. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm on board. Listen, look, Israel, bring your people on back home. Cut the crap out there. Y'all are like toddlers out there trying to prove your fucking points.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This shit is crazy. This is crazy. And highly disrespectful to your allies, Israel. Highly disrespectful. We don't want war over here. We got enough problems over here at home that we're trying to resolve. Money issues, all types of stuff. And you do too. Jesus, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're gonna have a ceasefire put in place, that means there's gonna be stipulations in place that Iran is gonna have to abide by, they're gonna have to roll with, and they're gonna have to obey.
Really is hoping this ceasefire holds. It is not, at least just yet. And we have seen, Joe, about it.
As far as the nuclear program, okay?
As angry, I'm told there, about as angry as President Trump has been in public in a long time this morning. Here we go.
Bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yo, it is what it is at that point. It is what it is at that point. And Trump stated, y'all hear it. This is where we at right here. Israel needs to get themselves in line. Iran needs to get itself in line. They need to come to the table, get this ceasefire solidified, period. Stop trying to sneak shit in on each other to try to keep certain things going out here for the rest of the world to be at peace. We got problems over here at home in America that we have to resolve. Like I said, financially, a lot of other things, stuff like that. We don't have time for Israel's debauchery and crap.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
We don't have time for it. Now Israel, we helped you with what we thought we was, what little bit we could. We sent in the B2s, tried to help you do little this and that. You need to be satisfied. You need to sit down, Netanyahu. You need to sit the fuck down. Y'all need to get on. Y'all need to get together, get this ceasefire together. You know what I'm saying? Iran, y'all need to cut out with this nuclear shit and stuff like that. The rest of the world don't want y'all to have it. We just don't want y'all to have it. Period. That's it. Y'all already over there treating your individuals like crap and stuff like that. Your women are being tortured. Also, your men over there are being tortured. You know what I'm saying? You need to figure out your morality issues over there, is Iran. You need to figure out your morality issues. But this is just the truth right here. Yes, it's time out for the games and stuff like that. Nobody really wants war. Nobody in their right mind wants war. And this is where we at. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.